All right. So welcome to another author roundtable. I'm Ravven White from Curious Corvid Publishing, and today we have Mark Alexander McClish, the author of Edhara Sonder, Mark Pigott, who has a novel coming out in August called The River of Souls, Amy Nicole, the author of Panoramic, Ray Wicks, the author of Legion of Fire, which comes out in July, Stephanie Kemler, the author of Bloodborne, Anna Corbo, she is our on-staff editor, and Robert Soule, who is the author of Beyond the Veil, which arrives this November. And we're all here to talk about stuff. So first, I'm going to kick us off with a conversation about LA, because I think everyone is the most excited to hear about the LA event and how everything went down. So we drove from where I live to California. It was about a 40-hour drive because we one-shot it all the way there. It was insane, and I'm never doing that again. The trip there was actually pretty fine. We didn't have any issues or anything. It was just really long. And then when we actually got to LA, we got there earlier than anticipated. So then we had to hang around and wait for our hotel room to be available. But as for the event, we got there early on Saturday, got everything set up. It was beautiful and sunny and really not too hot. I think the high that day was 80, so it was bearable. And it was so weird being out there because where I live, we have awful humidity. But we were over at in California, and it's you can't even tell. It's it's just nice and warm. Hi, Grace.
Hey, sorry for being late, y'all.
You are quite okay. I'm just getting started talking about our event in LA. So we attended the LA Times Festival of Books, which is the biggest festival of books in the United States. We were invited to join the Writers and Publishers Network tent, which was a great honor. And they're really wonderful people, and they contribute so much stuff to the indie community. They help connect writers, publishers, editors, creatives everywhere in and out of the indie community. And it's just, I think, something really special to be a part of. We had all of our books there. And let me tell you, so I've seen all of your beautiful books individually, when I'm packaging them and sending them out, but I've never actually seen them all together in one spot. And it was just one of the best things I've seen out of Curious Corvid was seeing all of our books lined up together and how harmonious they looked. And you could just tell that we are a house of blended poets and authors that just really do belong together. And I thought it was very funny how this ended up, because I didn't do this intentionally, but the way that I had set the books up, it actually went from light to dark with our covers. So I didn't do that on purpose, but that's just how it ended up. And I just thought that was actually really cool, because that's kind of what our house is all about and the topics that we write on. So there was about 85,000 people that came through the event. It was a little bit less than they had expected. I know, I'm oh, that's still quite a lot of people. But I think that's just because this was the first year back after COVID and everybody kind of adjusting to it. But regardless of that, we were incredibly busy all day, both days. We were on our feet talking to anyone who so much as looked at us. We had a lot of traffic come to our tent because of the beautiful banner that Mark made for us. We really stood out and we looked very different than other people there. And the lineup of our books, of course, everybody thought we had beautiful covers, and they were immediately drawn to our table because we are vibrant and beautiful and just interesting. And then when people actually got into our tent and we were talking with them about the content and the themes that we write about, it was so validating to see so many people identify with the themes and subjects that we write about. One thing I'm really proud about in our house is we don't shy away from hard subjects. We cover a variety of themes and stories, personal ones from loved ones that we've somehow created into art. And it was incredibly rewarding to see people so excited to find stories that reflected them. And I think that was something that we really had going for us that made us stand out. On Saturday, I worked the table and the event the whole day, handing out invitations and our Member of a Murder buttons, which people absolutely loved. We had a couple of people who didn't understand that a bunch of crows is called a murder. And so there was a little bit of hesitation about becoming a member of a murder. But once we explained it, they were pretty much okay with it. And then Sunday, I had the opportunity to actually walk through the event. So me and my friend CJ, we walked through the event and took pictures, and I introduced myself to a bunch of small presses and other self-published people. I met amazing people in every genre, in every space. It was just so cool to be surrounded by so many people in the same industry. But I can say confidently, because I walked through the event, that there was not another press like us. There was not another dark press like us. There was not another press that was like, had the aesthetic and tone as what we had. And that was really exciting to see, because I think that is just another way that we stand out in the community. And since the event, we went and I took like 350 invitations to hand out to become members of our website. And I had handed them out, basically all of them, on the first day. So the second day I was just handing out bookmarks and the buttons, and we did really well. And since then, we've had a huge uptick in our website. We've had a bunch of new members join our website, specifically new people in our Discord server. We've had some more orders placed on our website for our books. So obviously, I think that in the long run, this was a huge exposure opportunity for us that will pay off. But I just want you all to really understand how proud you should be of what you have created. Because every single one of you, those here and those not here, you all wrote things that spoke to people at the event, because we sold some of everyone's book there. And that was really nice to see. So I'm just really excited going forward. We were invited back next year as well. So something for us to plan forward and look to the future for. And then on top of that, Stephanie, Amy, and David Grinnell will all be at the Market of the Macabre. I'm always afraid I'm going to say that wrong. Next Saturday in Philadelphia. And I'm so excited. I keep seeing all these cool vendors, and I'm like, I'm never going to financially recover from this place, because I'm just going to want to buy all the things.
Hey, do me a favor for the thing and take lots of pictures there.
I will. Yes, so LA was amazing. So I do have a fun little anecdote for you all, and it is about getting lost in Iowa at 2 a.m. So we were driving back, and I was driving. It was late, and we were taking turns, and I happened to be the one driving. And the car said, "Hey, we need gas." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So in Iowa, which is all farmland, mind you, so there's not really a whole lot going on. There was a sign that said that there was a specific gas station. So I got off and I went to where I thought the gas station was going to be. It was not there. And so I turned on the GPS a little bit too late, and it had us, turn around to go back. Unfortunately, the turnaround involved some really shady looking dirt roads. So 2 a.m. in Iowa, driving down these dirt roads. My brother was asleep in the back, and we were driving his car, mind you. He wakes up and he goes, "Why are we on a dirt road? What happened to the highway?" To which I replied, "Google said that there was a gas station right here. Google lied." And he said, "Well, why didn't you just turn around instead of going down the dirt road?" And I was like, "Because I didn't think that this dirt road would turn into another dirt road. I thought for sure that eventually we'd get back to a paved one." So then my other friend, who had been asleep in the backseat, woke up, took in her surroundings, and very groggily said, "Isn't this how Jeepers Creepers starts?" To which I replied, "No, we're not doing this. We're not talking about this." We did eventually find a gas station, not the one that was purported to me on the road sign, but we did find one and make it out of Iowa alive. So that was a fun little story from our trip to LA. Well, on the way back anyway. So so I'm really excited. I think that over time that we'll get more and more people coming in from that event and from the impression that we made, because I really believe we made a big impression in California. And on top of that, I'm going to share with you guys. So we did a special thing called Found a Feather while we were on our way traveling to LA. So my friend CJ, who's our Discord moderator, he 3D printed and painted so many black feathers that said Curious Corvid, you found a feather. And on the back of the feathers was a QR code, and the QR code goes to a secret part of our website. I'm going to show it to you right now. Where'd it go? Okay, so this is the secret part of the website. It says, "Aren't you clever? You found one of the feathers we dropped as we were flying by. You deserve a reward for your sharp eye. Use this code for a discount on any purchase." So they get a special discount, and then they can tag us on social media if they take a picture of the feather with them, and we can put them on the map. So there is a map of all of the feathers that we dropped as we were traveling to California. And when you click on one, it has the address of where it is plus a photo. So as people find them and take photos of themselves with the feather, we can replace our photos with their photos. So it's just kind of cool to see all of our feathers across the United States. And of course, I'll be taking more with me to Philadelphia as well. So we'll just have them everywhere pretty soon. But we had a huge uptick on our website from these specifically, which was really cool to see. And on our website, if you go into the analytics, it will tell you exactly where people are viewing your website from. So when I was watching it on our way home, quite a few came from California, because there's several here in California, because I dropped a bunch at the event as well. But also right here in the heart of America, we had a whole bunch of hits as well. So hopefully that detour through Iowa helped our cause. So that's something we're going to do next year. Hopefully elaborate on it a little bit more down the line. I think it would be really fun to have like a kind of a geocaching thing with Curious Corvid, and kind of make it really fun and eventful. So those are big schemes for down the road. But those so we had lots of interesting things happen when we were at the event. So many people, so we were so excited. We did pretty well with book sales, I felt, for being a new press that nobody really knew about. So I'm definitely excited for next year. So yes, so that was LA. And so moving on. So we just had one of our first live events in our Discord. The other night I did a reading of poetry for The Cry of the Ravven, and it went really well, and we had some good attendance. But I really think that having regularly scheduled programming for our members will entice people to join and to participate. So the nice thing about our server is that every author has their own channel for their own updates, for their own conversations, and then there's a general channel for people to talk in when they join. And then we have a channel just for specific updates from Curious Corvid. The conversation is kept to a minimum in the Discord server so that people are not bombarded by thousands of unread messages, because that's not helpful. And also to make sure that when you guys are posting, your stuff isn't getting lost in the static, which is why you all have dedicated channels to yourselves. So one thing I'm going to be doing is creating a shared calendar, a shared Google Calendar on through Curious Corvids, so that everybody can post when they're going to be having events, whether that is if you're going to do a live event, if you have an in-person thing going on, whatever it is that you want to do, we can have it on the calendar, and then I can make scheduled postings for it on our social media and in our Discord server. And I think that if we up our engagement and have things going pretty regularly, that will bring in more and more people, because the interactions that they have with you as the authors is far more valuable than interactions that they have with me just representing you. Because I can talk about how wonderful you are all day long, but it's way more fun if they can talk with you directly, or if they know when you are going to be live and doing stuff. And if you do have live events, they don't have to be with me. You can do them by yourselves. You can do them with other people. You can do whatever you want because you are your own person. So, so I'm going to create a shared calendar so that we all have space to plan out and we won't be double booking anybody or anything. And I just wanted to remind you also, on our website, there is a cool feature that Mark made, and it is a bookshelf. So when you go onto our website, all the spines of our books are on there. And if you click on the book, you have two options. It can either take you to Google Books, where it has all the information about your books and where they can find it, or it can open up and they can read a portion of your book prior to buying it. I do think that is a really nice feature if they get to read a couple of pages, much like Look Inside feature on Amazon, and then it kind of entices people. So if that is something that you want for your book, if you want to add that to the website, you just reach out to Mark and he will do that for you. I think there's only a couple books that have it on there so far, but if you go on there,
David Grinnell,
yes,
and I think that's the only people I've done so far.
Yes. So if you want an idea of what it looks like, you can go on there and click on their books and you can see.
If I can ask Ravven, is this
Yes.
primarily for like the books that we're publishing through you or any previous books that we've self-published? I'm just, since you are now our publisher, more or less.
So this will be for books that you published through Curious Corvid.
Okay.
That we have for sale in the Curious Corvid store.
Okay.
So right now we do signed copies through Curious Corvid. We do signed hardcovers of novels, and we do signed books for all of the poetry. However, because of shipping and costs, we're going to be switching over to book plates, which was actually the suggestion of Stephanie because she created her own for her book. So Mark designed us a new book plate. Let me see, I can pull it up for you guys so that you can see it. It's really, really pretty. So I found a place that prints them actually pretty affordably. So I'm going to be ordering them, and then I will send the book plates to you for you to sign, and then you can send them back to me, and it will be much more affordable than sending boxes of books in the mail. Here it is.
You don't want a 2-week back and forth between.
Oh my God,
Texas
that too. But when Lady of the House took a tour of the United States because the post office got confused.
That was wild. Ever since that experience, I no longer handwrite addresses on mailing bugs. I will type it up and then I print it.
Oh,
So
that's
these
cool.
are the book plates. So there's a nice big spot here for you to sign, leave a little note, whatever it is that you want to do, because these will be 4x5. So lots of space to write, to sign, to stamp, whatever it is you have going on. And then we can affix these to the books so that they're still technically getting signed copies. And then I'll be able to do paperbacks and hardbacks then for the novels, which would be nice. So then all of the books can be signed instead of just some of them. So that's something that we're working towards. And then I want to say congratulations to our newest bestsellers. That would be Danny O'Day and Enoch Black. For Danny O'Day is The Last Man in Cleveland, and Enoch Black is Incubus Tales. And then I was really happy to see that Cry of the Raven also hit #1 bestseller when it released as well. This is a really exciting opportunity, I think, for everybody. So I'm going to just talk about this and what exactly it is that's making this possible. So Adana, she works in book marketing, and she works especially with like ebooks and ebook promotion specifically. And so she sent me a couple of links to some ebook promotions. And one of them is run by Books Butterfly, and they do special promotions for indie people specifically. And they have so many people. They have like thousands and thousands and thousands of people in their newsletters. So when you buy a promotion for them through them, it runs for up to 5 days, because that's how long you can have an ebook for free on Amazon. And then it goes out in newsletters and in book blogs and all kinds of fun stuff. And so when people are downloading your book and over again, that bumps you up into the system, which makes you a #1 bestseller on Amazon really quickly and easily. So what I would like to start doing going forward is running these ebook promotions as soon as the book releases to make you a #1 bestseller right off the bat. So then when the nice part about these ebook promotions as well is that while your ebook is free, your paperback or your hardcover, whatever it is that is on there, we can run a promotion on that. Because if people like the ebook, they're more likely to go back and buy a physical copy of it, right? Statistically, that's what people usually do. If they like the book, they're more likely to buy a hardcover. And we can run promotions of the print physical copy alongside the free ebook as well, so that when your ebook promotion is over, your paperback, your print copy is still bumped up in the system. The other side to this that I'm trying to develop is reviews. It's so hard to get book reviews on Amazon, Goodreads, anywhere. It's so hard. I don't understand why it's so hard, because it takes like 2 seconds to 5-star it or 4-star it or whatever. But it's really hard. But if you get 50 reviews on your book, you permanently are boosted in Amazon's ranking systems, and then you just continue to go up from there. So I'm cultivating a group of people that I can count on that would read and review our books. So the idea is that our books would be free. These people could download it, then they could read it, and then they could review it. And then we would have the rankings from being boosted in the system to make you a bestseller right off the bat. And then we would have all the reviews coming in from these people, which would boost you as well. And then we'll have the promotions running on your print copy also at the same time to help keep you up there while it's trending. We can also do like 99-cent sales and stuff like that. We did that for Danny O'Day's book. When his book came out, we ran his book for 99 cents and it did really well. We put it in our newsletter. Our newsletter does really well. So it's considered to be a productive newsletter if you have an open rate of 30%. We have an open rate of 65% on our Curious Corvid newsletters. So, and we only, like the last one that I ran, it was only 2 that didn't get opened. Or no, I'm sorry, it was 2 that didn't get delivered. So we have a really, really good open rate for our newsletters, and it's continually growing, like I said, with the new members. So as you can see, I'm trying to get the most bang for our buck out of these situations and make it the most productive that it can be and try to hit everything on all fronts. So I'm trying to be planned out and really aggressive with who I know that I can count on for actual book reviews, because like I said, for some reason, it's very hard. So there is a downside to the book promotion, and that is when you run it, the only way that you can do a free ebook campaign is that you have to enroll in Kindle Unlimited. And then you can do a Kindle countdown sale, or you can do an ebook giveaway. And you have to be in the Kindle program for 90 days. And then you can unenroll and take your book out. So there is a downside to it, because then after that, your ebook will be stuck in Kindle Unlimited. Everybody knows I'm not a fan of Kindle Unlimited. I don't really like that, but I will say, on the off balance of becoming a bestseller and having your book trending in multiple categories, I feel like it's worth it for that short period of time your book's going to be in Kindle Unlimited. So if that is something you're interested in doing with your book, we can talk about it one-on-one and kind of figure out what our strategy would be, when we want to plan it for, all that kinds of stuff, and when we want to do it. So far, though, I have to say the ones I have run it for, it has made every single book a bestseller. It has either made it a #1 bestseller or at least in the top 10. So that's kind of really cool to be able to say that every single book in our house is a bestseller. So I would like to kind of keep that trending. And then as we go, I'm always looking for new marketing strategies and new things that we can add to what we're doing. One of them I'm really excited about. So this is Mark. This is because of Mark. Most of stuff is because of Mark these days. But last night, Mark sent me a website where you can create really cool book promotion videos. So I made an account and I bought the package deals so that you can make videos and make them really cool and they don't have like the watermarks and stuff on them. So I made a bunch of them last night and I'm really excited about it. I sent one to Ray today or last night, and it is for her book that comes out in July. It shows you the book in like 3D, and the book is like stacked up, and then you can play like this epic music. And then it like zooms in on the Curious Corvid logo. It's very cinematically beautiful. But there's a lot of other things that we can do on this website as well to kind of change our interaction on social media and get more people interested and involved. So I'm really excited about that. So that'll be a really cool thing that we can add to when our books start coming out. Sorry, I got sidetracked. So we had our open house for Curious Corvids for the first week of May. And it was really exciting. We got a lot of really cool submissions. And we got submissions from people that have been really supportive of Curious Corvid. So I think that is very telling. They have people that have followed us from the beginning, and now we have an open house and they submitted like on the first day. So I think that is very telling that we're trending and we're doing well. And obviously we must have a good presence if a year after our first open house, because it has been a year since I opened the house. So for us to still be doing well and having people be interested is really exciting. Amy says maybe we can do a get to know you author in the newsletters. Yes, that would be very cool. I really like that idea. Weird interview facts, favorite ice cream flavor. I like that. Yeah, I think that would be really fun. So I think that will also tie into another project that we're going to have going on. And this one is also because of Mark. This one was Mark's idea as well, because Mark is very industrious and creative. So we have decided to put together a literary journal called the Magpie Messenger. And we were originally going to call it the Murder Messenger, but after LA and the response to the murder buttons, Mark suggested we change it because magpies, what do? They collect shiny objects and like hoard things. So that's kind of fitting for what this literary journal is going to be. So one thing that I think is really important for Curious Corvid is that we don't discriminate against other writers. We don't think that we're better than anyone else. And we just really want to see everybody have a chance of the pie. And submissions in general can be really hard. And there's a word that I'm looking for and I can't think of it. Competitive. It can be very competitive. So one thing I want for the Magpie Messenger is to be a place where everybody has an equal chance to be seen. So we were just talking about it in the staff meeting. Mark, feel free to jump in at any time. So the first edition, okay, let me back up for a second. So we're planning on doing it as releases on the Equinox and solstices. So
I have a list already pulled up if you want me to go through them. Yeah,
please do.
So we're going to be doing 5 editions per year, at least starting out. But I think 5 editions per year works pretty well, and we don't want to take the thunder away from bye, Anna. We don't want to take too much attention away from people who are publishing books for this. So I think 5 is pretty good. So the first one of the year, just going chronologically, the spring equinox is March 20th. The summer solstice is June 20th. The autumn equinox is September 23rd, and the winter solstice is December 21st. And then the 5th one is going to be on November 1st, which is All Hallows Day. So we might not always be releasing them exactly on those dates, but that's around the time. And like the editions will be like the first edition will be the 2023 summer solstice. And that'll be coming out a little later this summer.
I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be so fun. So for the first edition of the Magpie Messenger, we're going to put out and hopefully have ready around this summer solstice, because we're very ambitious here. And we thought it would be nice to do it by invite only, just for our first one. And we're going to invite the people that submitted to Curious Corvid. We thought that that would be a nice way to say thank you and to support them while they're waiting to hear back from us about their manuscripts. So I'm going to be sending out invitations, and Mark made a really beautiful graphic. Hold on, I'm going to pull that up for you as well so that you can see it. And it has a mock-up of what the magazine will look like. And then this is what I'll be sending to people when I invite them to, here it is. So this is what I'll be sending when I send them their invite to participate. So we'll have an about section about Curious Corvid. We'll have a section on our staff people, the people who help me run Curious Corvid and make it successful. We'll have a spread about the LA event with pictures, and then we'll have, of course, our submissions. We will have an article about indie versus industry and the importance of writers in the indie community. We will have a special thank you for people, and then our upcoming events. So we'll have a lot of stuff in here. And the nice part about it is that when we're looking into designing it and creating it, as long as we're not adding like hundreds of pages, we're flexible with page count. So we'll be able to add and subtract and whatever we want to do. So Mark's making a template for it so that it will all come together. So we have...
Don't forget, we will also be able to do a section on the Market of the Macabre.
Oh yes, that too, because
that's why I was asking you to take pictures.
Yeah. Yes. So I'm going to write the one for LA, but Stephanie, if you wanted to write one for Market of the Macabre afterwards, that would be really cool, so that we have other perspectives in it besides just me. So and of course, yes, we'll take lots of pictures and do it. And then okay, so this is, I'm gonna read to you guys the invitation I have written. And I always appreciate you guys' input, because you're the backbone of Curious Corvid. So it's important to me that when I'm out here talking to people, that you also feel well represented. So this is what I will be sending to people when they're invited to participate in this first edition. It says, hello, here at Curious Corvid, we believe in the importance of supporting creative people within the creative community, and we noticed that you felt the same. We want to thank you for liking and sharing our content and supporting us as we continue to grow. For this reason, we are personally and privately inviting you to participate in the first edition of our Magpie Messenger. This literary journal will release, originally it was monthly, I have to change that, and feature indie voices in and outside of Curious Corvid, giving everyone an equal opportunity to be seen. We will feature poetry, short stories, chapter releases of books, academic pieces, as well as behind-the-scenes content and upcoming events in Curious Corvid. We hope you will consider being part of this new adventure. Submitting to this journal is free. You will receive a contract from us that allows you to retain full rights to your work, and in return for your submission, we will send you either a free copy of the journal or $10 for your work. We will be looking for short stories between 2,000 and 2,500 words, or up to 3 poems per author, as well as an author photo, bio, and a QR code that links to your social media and/or website. The theme for this journey is travel, and we are open to a variety of dark literature. We only ask that there be no SA, sexual assault, or graphic abuse. If you are interested in submitting, feel free to send over your submission at your earliest convenience. We look forward to hearing from you. So after our first edition is out, then we will open, since we have a list of when we're going to be releasing it, we just have to come up with themes for the rest of the journals, and then I will put it out onto our social media, and people will be able to submit to whichever one that they want to. It'll be an open call for submissions, so that and then if you guys have pieces that you want to submit as well, just let me know. We can also do author features, and like there's so many things that we can do with this, and I'm really excited because I think it has a lot of potential. I know $10 doesn't seem like a lot for for anyone's work, but I wanted to at least pay people something. And since it's a brand new thing that I'm just starting and I don't have a big budget for it, I figured at least they could either get a copy or they could get paid something, even if it's a little bit. So we'll go from there.
I think it's a lot because most people don't get paid, and I think getting paid for your work at all at this like stage is just validating. Like it validates your work and your worth. So I think it is a lot. It is a lot.
Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, I was gonna say on the poetry side of things, most of the time you're gonna see like people get like up to 3 to 5 max to submit to a journal of sorts, and I think it's like normally either $1 or $5 payments, depending on what the journal is, or if they have like a big old budget, it's way different. That's a Kickstarter thing. I think you're doing well.
I didn't want to discriminate between poetry and short stories either, because although poetry is shorter, I don't want it to be made. I didn't want poets to feel like short stories were more important if short stories got more money than poetry did. So I thought just a flat across the board for whatever it is would be better. So, but I'm really excited about it.
Something that Ravven and I talked about was who was it besides Dickens that you mentioned?
Oh, H.P. Lovecraft, Edgar Allan Poe.
All got their start, got exposure by posting in like not exactly journals, but posting their work chapter by chapter. And so we were hoping, if Ravven can't accept a full book for somebody, they can get their work out there and they can get that exposure as well as being compensated for it chapter by chapter. And that'll draw attention and get people to buy more copies because they want to know what happens in the next edition.
I think it'll be a really cool marketing strategy for our books too, and for our content and for what we have going on. So I think I really do believe that the community that we're cultivating is going to be essential to our growth. And I think by stepping out of the typical look or framework of publishing will entice a lot of people, especially if they feel like they have a chance to be noticed or picked up. Because I know, like, in my history, in my past, like with writing and stuff, there were so many things I just never bothered with because I didn't think there was any chance at all that I would get noticed or whatever. And it was always really deflating if like when I would send in poetry to like contests or whatever, or submission calls and you either didn't hear back or whatever. So I think having a place that is a little bit more flexible with our submissions and acceptances with the Magpie Messenger will be a really good addition to Curious Corvid and help bring in more people who identify with what we're writing about and what we're doing. So I'm just really excited about it. I think it's going to be great. And I'm I'm really glad we decided not to do it monthly like we were originally talking about, because I was low key like, oh my God.
We can do monthly later on if we just have floods of people wanting to submit stuff.
Slow growth is good though, because then we know that we're not going to get, burned out or over flooded or, anything of that variety.
An issue a month is like a magazine company. Yeah.
So
do you need any of us to be like readers or like help edit the magazine or anything?
Oh yeah. If you're interested in participating, if you want to help with submissions and picking pieces for it, yeah. I would be happy to have the help sorting through it, because I will still be doing all of the regularly scheduled book content coming up as well. So no, if you're open to helping, just let me know and I'll put you on a list and we'll have I can forward you stuff or however we can work it out. So,
and I'm the one who's actually going to be building the magazine itself, like all side content and arranging it and stuff. So if we talked about like authors having content about themselves, so if you would like to write an article about yourself, or if you want to put in a page or a spread, like Ravven said, we have a lot of flexibility with the page count. It really doesn't make that much of a difference. So if you want to put in some content about your own stuff, put a shameless plug of self-promotion, you can. You just have to send that content to me and I can get it in there, and I'll just get Ravven's okay and we'll be gravy.
We can also do special spreads based on whether or not you have content coming out. So if you have a book coming out, we can make it just all about you and talk about your book and what you have coming out and make it just really personalized and cool. Or if you have a book promotion, whatever it is that you have going on, we can throw it in there and it'll be really, really cool. And then I think, between that and then maybe getting some more live events scheduled. So I want to give you guys some ideas for what live events could be, because they can be anything. So some ideas for doing live events are, you could do readings of your book. You could do readings of your poetry. You could do just a sit and talk about the process, like a get to know you kind of thing. You could do an event with another author and you could just talk about the writing process or each other's work. You could talk about people that inspire you. You could even do, and this is really popular on TikTok, it's called a sit with me. And that's where people just turn on their camera while they're writing or they're studying. And there's no real interaction, but you just sit there together and you study or you write. And there's like thousands and thousands of viewers of these things on TikTok, which is incredible to me. So there's things like that, or cook with me, or whatever it is that you like to do. There's so many fun things you could do to help bring more life into who you are as an author and give people an idea that you are human. Although some of us aren't. We have a vampire, we have a bog witch, we have a dark fantasy queen. So we have all kinds of stuff going on here. But the more diversity that you bring in and like who you are and what it is that you like to do, like if you're a video game nerd, talk about that or do a stream or, I see you. But what I'm saying is you can be creative with how you present yourself and how you want the world to view you. And whatever it is that you're passionate about, you can create live events about those too. So think about that and think about, what you might like to do. And you don't have to do them all the time. The beauty of having so many people in our house is that we could always have live events going on, but you might only be doing it like once every couple months. So don't think about it as something that you have to do like all of the time, but once in a while, start making your presence a little bit more known, because as we're growing as we are growing as a house, the more self-promotion you do for yourself, the better your book will do. And I know self-promotion is hard. When I can tell you from behind the scenes look, because I track how many books are coming and going out of the house, the people that take the time to really put their book out there and put it on the forefront and market it and talk about it, their sales do better and better, because you're growing that personalized interaction. And if you are uncomfortable on camera, I am happy to do a live with you. We can talk about your book. We can talk about you. We can talk about movies or whatever it is. We can do a live together, because I'm pretty good about talking and bringing people out of their shells during a live event. So if you're not comfortable or you don't really know where to start, we can do one together, and I'll be happy to get you started, which is where I think the shared calendar will be nice, because then we'll kind of see what's going on with everybody. So if you haven't joined the Discord yet, I really encourage you to do so. I really do think it's a nice opportunity for growth and personal interactions. And I will send in the follow-up email, I will send instructions like how to join and stuff like that. You don't have to. I'm not trying to pressure you. But as your publisher and as your agent, I want you to succeed. And I think that you should take every opportunity you have available to market yourself. And since these are things that are free for you to use, just think about it. I know it can be scary trying to learn how to do new things, but if it's there, you might as well. I found myself doing more and more things I thought I would never do in my life, but it's kind of exciting. That would be fun, a live panel on the subject. I think that would be really cool.
Having seen a couple now in person, it is a cool way to see other authors interact with each other about subjects that they find important to themselves, but also maybe readers do as well. Like, and it can be like anything. Like, it doesn't like as long as it like loosely pertains to like the overall subject.
I think that would be really good. So we have predominantly women in our house between like in the staff people, and we have a lot of women in as writers, and so I think it would be cool to do, not to discriminate against men at all, but I think it would be really cool to do a feature on women in writing and women, and talk about some of the different facets to being a woman in the writing community, such as like women's categories and women's literature and how we kind of feel about that. So I think that would be a really fun avenue to explore. So yeah, I like that. I think panels would be really nice addition. But I think that's everything that I have for you guys. I'm sorry that I talked so much this time. I just had so much to tell you. But what do you guys think about the murder message? See, we originally were going to call it that, so now I have to retrain my brain. What do you guys think about the Magpie Messenger and having it be more of an open place for people?
Do you know what the price point's going to be for it for people?
To buy it, I think Mark and I talked about it a little bit, and I think typically it's like $13 for a magazine. So yeah, I think
sorry, this is the example that I brought up. This is basically just an 8.5 by 11 paperback book. It's very high quality. It's nice. It's got about 100 pages, and it is $14. And this is like a special edition fancy thing.
I think once we have it built and we have an idea roughly of like what is going to be going into it, and then we'll go from there. Because I know also with it being color, I'm looking at some different places to get them printed through to see what will be the best option. Right. So once we have it built, we can kind of go from there and see how much it will cost. But I hope to keep it more affordable for everybody. Oh, speaking of affordable, I do have one more thing for you guys after we talk about the Magpie Messenger. So don't let me forget.
I accidentally just sent this only to Grace. Will this be print and digital both?
I think it's only going to be print. I think that's what we're going to do, because it will be a lot harder to make it look nice in ebook copy. So I think for the exclusivity of it, we'll keep it to print copies.
Perfect. Grace, you're off the hook.
I was gonna say, I've seen some places or magazines, what they'll do is they'll do a pre-order for a limited set of physical copies, and then once the physical copies are out, then they release an ebook. I was just saying, just things I've seen.
It's I was thinking about doing that too, of doing like a limited print run of each one to keep it more special, but also more affordable depending on where we buy it through or where we get them printed through. So
yeah, I think like you guys said, like $13-14. It's kind of what I've been seeing. And then I think e-copies, if it evolves into that, about $7. So yeah, $7 a copy.
I think so. I think that as we grow and as we like grow into it, that will be that the ebook edition would be a nice thing to have. And I guess really if we didn't go through Kindle, which would be fine with me, if we didn't go through like Amazon or Kindle at all, we could sell the ebooks as PDFs through the Curious Corvid website, which would be easy peasy lemon squeezy. So yeah, that's a good idea, actually.
Dark Matter does that. Their ebooks, because I bought one because I wanted to see what it would look like, and they do it strictly through PDF.
Okay, well that's good.
Super easy to set up on the website.
Yeah, Kindle.
Awesome. Okay, well I'm liking this more and more as we go. See, this is why you guys are so important.
I think I don't know how many copies you were planning to print, but say you did like a 50 print run for each issue. Because I'm assuming it would be you're doing like issues.
Yes.
you could bring them to like the tables that we have at all of these events, and then you could explain to people, oh, like that's like all we have left of like issue 3, so after this, like it's only digital, like this is all we only have 3 copies left, and like it makes people more like they more want to like buy it and be part of this like little community that we have.
I like that idea. I also want to do so because we're going to be adding new people to our house by the end of the year. I think it would be really cool if we had a Curious Corvid like poster that had all of our autographs on it for all the people that were in the house first, like through the first year. I think that would be really cool.
That's cool. But Mark, possible to make us all action figures on the poster?
That would be really cool.
That's a vibe.
Possible, yes. Action figures. Interesting. Not the vibe I would have expected you to go for.
Cool idea, yes. There's a lot of comic book covers.
I personally want like a transfigured crow, where it's like a horrific looking crow with a human's face. That's what I was thinking.
See, that's more what I was expecting to hear.
Just unnatural.
That sounds delightful.
We'll have to.
I was thinking of like digitally taking all our signatures and putting them so it looks like we've all signed the top of the homepage on the website. But sure, I can make a horrible Eldritch Abomination or an action figure too.
Can we do
not?
both?
I got time.
We could do both.
We could do both. And we could never talk about one of them.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's too funny. Oh my goodness. Yes, so I'm gonna take it that everybody really likes the the Magpie Messenger.
Yes.
Oh, I keep saying the wrong thing.
You know what we could do as it like becomes more like financially feasible? I don't know if you guys have ever done this with like magazines and stuff when you were younger, but they had like sticker pages inside. That was fun. We could have like some kind of exclusive thing in these as we like grow that makes it different from other lit mags, that makes it separates us and that people look forward to. Every lit mag has some kind of an exclusive content that makes us not just writing, but like fun and like curious and like some different way.
I was thinking we could also do like downloadable content. Like per issue, like have like special bookmarks or some kind of like art that you can only have access to if you have an issue of the magazine.
DLC for a magazine? Yes. That would be very easy to set up. It would just be a QR code, and then we could have a page of the website that's only accessible from the QR code, and then they could have like a downloadable PDF or something on that page.
That I think that would be really cool.
That's a good idea.
And then if we do issues that coincide with like book releases, we can have special downloadable content for those specific books as well.
Full spread on those books.
Yeah.
Like whose book comes out the closest to June 20th?
That would be Ray's.
Is hers after that?
No, hers is before.
Okay.
Well,
so
I don't
we can
know.
make
It's
a spread, be like, this book is out
time.
now.
Yeah.
And make a big deal out of it.
Yeah. And then the next one will be, if we could do, so if the next September, who's in September? Is David Turton's novel is in September.
What day of September is it?
So his release date is September 2nd, because that was the official end date for World War II. Okay.
Autumn Equinox is the 23rd of September.
Perfect. So that would be good.
And my book is in August.
Yes. Yes. So we could put a couple in there.
Yeah.
I think that's good to have more than one author. So like people don't get missed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely.
So is the September issue going to be the first issue? Is that what you're thinking?
Well, so the first issue ideally will be for this summer equinox, which would be around June 20th.
Oh my goodness.
Because we're insane.
It's
gonna
May.
be But
when you send out these invitations
tomorrow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why I had everything put together here so that I could present it to you guys. And then if you were like, yeah, this is a good idea, I could be like, okay, let's do it.
I am going to be back from a trip on June 8th. So if you can get me the content or people's submissions by then, that gives you, wow, that gives you 1, 2, 3.5 weeks.
Yeah, I think that will be fine for people to get stuff together.
Then I can work with that.
Yeah.
I think I can definitely get it finished. Like I can design it by the 20th, as long as there's not, a prohibitive amount of content I'm expecting for the first issue. But I can definitely get it done and edited by the 20th. And then it'll be, there's always the question of the submission process to whatever printing service we use.
Yeah, but we'll figure that out as we go. And I'll have a better idea of what to do with printing once I know how much content we'll have, and then I can go from there. So it'll be easy, and it doesn't have to be perfect because it's the first one, and it's the first. Everything's a little bit bumpy when you first get it started because, of course, nothing can go perfect. I do all of the spells, I promise you, but sometimes things just get bumpy. But since it's the first thing, I figure we can kind of be flexible and kind of figure out what we want to do. And then we can change things as we go and whatever works and what doesn't work until we kind of figure out what the perfect formula is. Trial and error.
And we won't tell people that the summer solstice is June 20th. Like, we'll just say it's the summer solstice edition. And how many people are really going to Google what day it is and be like, you didn't release it on the right day?
Do you understand this community? Because everyone who reads my book is going to know exactly when the summer solstice is.
Yeah.
I guess we'll
try,
we'll get to quiz them then. Look, whatever.
We'll just say it's for an extended celebration.
Yeah.
It's summer solstice shish.
Yes. Well, just like when we do our Halloween spread, we're going to do it on November 1st. So it's All Hallows Day. So, because technically Samhain goes until November 2nd. So we'll be fine.
But I do have a question that's kind of related.
Yes.
So is the Grimoire project still on track to come out
Yes.
for around the Halloween time? Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Thank you for the reminder.
Was the charity selected yet by chance too, or
no? So thank you for bringing that up actually. So if you haven't submitted to the Corvid Grimoire, there is still time. I am asking for everything to be submitted to me by July 20th. We are accepting short stories of whatever it is that you want to write about. I did originally put a cap of 2,500 words. I've gotten lower amounts and I've gotten a wee bit higher. It doesn't really matter to me. All that matters is that you are present and that you're part of it. One, because it's a charity anthology, and I think that that's just really special. And two, because when people read this book, they're going to see how individual everyone's voices are. And I think that that will be really special. So Mark is going to do really cool illustrations for it so that it just looks really beautiful. I have not picked a charity. I would like to pick one that we can mutually agree on. I don't know if you guys wanted to do like a mental health charity, because that is something that seems to run through all of our books is mental health, but there's also assault charities as well. There are children's charities. There are all kinds of things. And am not partial to anyone in particular, just whatever everybody agrees on is okay with me. So that's up to you guys. So if anyone has any suggestions.
For the stories then, is Anna editing it for the grimoire, or like how does that whole process work?
So I'm not sure if Anna's going to be editing it. She might, if I can get everything done in time and send it to her, possibly. But if not, then our other editor, Jessica, will do it. And Jessica's already been editing stuff for us. She's done an amazing job. She's very thorough, very academic, and very professional. So it'll be either Anna or Jessica who does it. So yes. So if you have thoughts on a charity that you think that we should donate to, so 100% of the proceeds for this will go to charity. Curious Corvid isn't going to keep anything from it either. So if you have ideas, please let me know. And then we can put it in like an email and talk about it and vote or whatever anybody wants to do. So I'm really excited about it though. And I think that's oh no. Okay. So one more thing. I'm sorry. One more thing that I'm working on is creating a curriculum of workshops and classes through Curious Corvid to help people navigate the writing industry. And it will cover things from how to prep your manuscript, how to pick a publisher, how to do like all this. When should you buy a copyright and how does it apply to your work? How do you pick a publisher and what kinds of things should you be looking for? I have a manuscript, but how much work should I put into it before I submit? It'll cover all kinds of stuff. They will be pre-recorded classes that people will be able to get through Curious Corvid. There will be a charge for them, but nothing like super expensive because I do want it to be affordable for everybody, but it would be nice to have a little bit of income coming in from them as well. So I've talked to Anna like about doing a video talking about editing and some of the skills or insight that she would have that would be beneficial to know. Mark about cover design and working with the designer and what to expect, all kinds of stuff. And yes, like what is a vanity press? Should I pay for my submission? Those are all things I think that are really important to talk about. So if you have a suggestion, I'm also going to be putting a post on our Instagram inviting suggestions for topics people would be interested in learning about. And then oh, that's a good one too. Difference between contest, guest judges, and regular submissions. If you're interested in also, if you have experience with any subject that you think is important, if you know somebody who has experience in a subject that you think is important, let me know because I would be happy to have guests as well to talk about things that are out of my expertise or things that they would know better than me. The whole point of this curriculum is to just make the publishing world easier for indie people to navigate and help them avoid very prominent pitfalls in their publishing journey. So I'm really excited about that. I think it's going to be great. I'm hoping that it'll be ready to release next year, like early next year, giving myself time to plan it, record it, make it all nice and pretty and everything and have it available. So that's also another thing that I'm working on because I enjoy my free time. So some perspective when I'm talking about creating content for yourselves. I've had a book talk for a while now on TikTok. Do you know what I've gotten the most attention for? 8-second video clips of crows eating peanuts in my driveway.
It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
I was like so excited. So I like started like this whole journey about this being the crazy crow lady who's trying to make friends with the crows. And I release updates of it every day. People freaking love it. I have gotten more views on an 8-second clip of a crow flying into my driveway, picking up a peanut and flying away. More views on that than anything else. So, but hey, if it brings people in, it brings people in. But this is what I'm talking about. Like, just be you and be your authentically weird and wonderful selves, because apparently that's what sells. So, yes. Okay, so this is actually all that I have to say. So, some things for you to think about. Make sure that if you're going to submit to the Corvid Grimoire, that I have it by July 20th. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. As far as subject matter, we have everything from haunted apple trees to haunted cell phones to succubus that lure people to their death. Like there's just a little bit of everything. Okay. So just don't really worry about what the subject is about, because again, it is to represent you and what it is that you like to write about. Watch out for updates on the Magpie Messenger, and I'll keep you guys updated for that as well when it will be coming out and stuff like that, and we can talk about it on Maybe we can make some like infographics that everybody can share on their social media to announce its arrival. We'll make a really big deal out of it, okay? And then we'll be at the Market of the Macabre next Saturday. I'm so excited. I can't wait.
Yeah, I just wanted to say real quick about that. Does anyone have any quick questions, things you want me to keep in mind? I know that, Ravven, David, and Amy are going to be there, which is going to be so fun. But yeah, is there anything, you guys, questions, whatever? Cool. Yes.
But I was just trying to think of any like publishers that we also know that just might be there to network with while you're there.
There are no other publishers there.
Oh, that's interesting.
I think there's one bookseller, I think that's all like vintage books.
Okay.
Which is super exciting. Almost everything is like paintings, handcrafts, whatever. So we're actually like,
I was
really gonna stand out.
We're gonna be exclusive.
I remember like some of my friends that run new age shops, like you would looking back, it's like, oh, like that's where they were at, like Market of Macabre. So very cool. Yay.
Yeah, it's really exciting. I'm not gonna take any shopping list orders because I'm gonna like fill my bags with stuff. So sorry, I can't carry your wooden stakes or bookshelves that look like coffins. I do what I can. Cool. If you guys think of something during the week, anything at all. I've also taken for you, Mark, over the years at Laurel Hill Cemetery, some like really incredible photos and stuff. So we can have like some background photos, and then I'll try and take some at the event. Ravven and I'll hook that up.
Nice.
Great, because I would like to do a full spread on that for the messenger.
Yeah, I used a real camera. Like, I don't even know what it was.
A DSLR camera?
It probably was. My husband gave it to me. But so it won't be like just, snapshots. It's actually like sort of artistic stuff. So
nice.
Awesome.
Oh, and you can buy, I'm going to post today or tomorrow. But you can buy all of this stuff online too, like that other people are selling. So I think Market of the Macabre has a website, but then there's like a couple of other things. But if something trips your trigger, that it's not just available that day.
Nice. We can put that in the journal as well, and links to it and everything.
Oh, perfect.
And then I'm also creating a list of events for next year. So the big event for me this year was obviously LA. So I have had to decline. I've been invited to some other events around the country, but I've had to decline, unfortunately. But next year, I would like to go to more book events because I really think that is a really cool opportunity. And if there are book events near you guys that you would like to attend, that's something that we can do together to help with the cost. And, I trust you all to represent yourselves. So if you wanted to go to an event, you just let me know and we could work it out from there. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is I'm compiling a list of events going into next year and kind of seeing where we should go next, basically. So if you know of events, send them my way so I can save them for the next year and going forward. So
there's a Comic-Con that happens like literally a few blocks from where I live. It's fairly large and it happens like twice a year. And the last one I was at, there were quite a few like authors, independent authors, like trying to sell their books. So I've always thought that at some point I should go to that.
I think that would suit you really well.
Yeah.
That would be great. Well, I mean, technically you'll have 2 books coming out this year.
That's true.
Yeah. So that would be really cool. So if you decided that's something that you want to do, just let me know and then I can help get you all the stuff for it.
Okay. Yeah, because I think the next one's in February.
Okay. Cool. You just write that down because I'm old and I will forget. My toddler now, for a while, my toddler's 2, right? And she's going to be 3 at the end of the month. But her understanding of obviously age is minimal. And so she's 2. So she says everyone else is 3. Except now she says, "You're old, Mom."
Oh, wow.
And I feel like it was one of my brothers that taught her that. So I'm not very appreciative of that.
Well, every time I talk to you guys, I feel like a baby. So
You are, though.
I know.
You're so young.
Nothing makes you feel old like having an 18-year-old who's gonna graduate, from high school in a couple of days. So yeah, it's like, how did that happen? That totally makes you feel old.
I graduated from high school in 2015, so
Oh yeah, damn.
I feel pretty young.
Yeah.
That's okay. High school never really ends. So
Yeah.
That's what Bowling for Soup says.
I know. Yeah, the emo still lives deep in my heart. My Chemical Romance released a new song the first time in 8 years, and I was beside myself. I was screaming. I ran to the house and I was calling for my husband. I was like, My Chemical Romance just released a new song. It's been 8 years. Listen to this with me right now. It's a masterpiece.
I'd be beside myself if I could ever get this cloning machine to work. Just a little mad science.
If you ever figure that out, please add me to the list, okay? Because I had to explain to my child yesterday that I only had 2 arms. She goes, only 2 arms? So only 2 hands? Mom, you need more arms.
God nerfed us by making us singular beings.
Well, I always like the story of the lore of Zeus, in that we were actually creatures with 4 arms and 2 hearts, and then he split us apart because we were too powerful.
Shelby sometimes get that back together where she sits on my back and we use her arms, and I walk around, so it's my height plus her arms. I don't think it really gives any advantages, but it's scientific research.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, that's everything that I have for today. Thank you so very much for listening to me talk for the last hour, almost hour and a half. I really appreciate you all. I appreciate you not just for the content that you write, but also for your presence. I really appreciate your faith in Curious Corvid and helping me grow this into something so beautiful and wonderful, because I really do believe we have so much potential and so much to offer the world as we continue to grow. And I'm really, really very proud to represent all of you wherever I go and with whatever I do. So I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day once a month to talk with me and about everything that's going on, because as you see today, your input makes a big difference in what I do with the company and where we go. And that's really important to me. So thank you all. And I hope you have a great rest of your week. And I will send out a follow-up email with everything we talked about. As always, if you ever need anything, feel free to reach out at me at any time. Sometimes I'm a little slow on the trigger depending on what's going on, but I try to get back to you within a day. So otherwise, I know Robert's like,
I'm like, where's the mute button? It's too late. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Motorcycle guys.
What did you want to say?
I was just saying we had lots of like motorcycle noise.
Oh.
Somebody just like went by like full blast. I was trying desperately to mute it, and I couldn't find the mute button in time.
It's totally okay. My husband and I got married on his family farm, and on our wedding day of all days, we had like how motorcycle groups do like the runs, or okay, that's what we had. And we had like 60 motorcycles go down, and we were getting married outside. So for 3 minutes, we just kind of stood there in silence while they all drove by.
Oh wow.
It was fun. All right. But otherwise, I will see you guys next month sometime. Stephanie, I'll see you next week. Amy, I'll see you next week. And I'm really so very excited. It's going to be so much fun. So
can't wait to see pictures. I hope you guys have an awesome time.
I can't wait. I've been picking out my outfit, and I'm having such a hard time because I'm like, do I want to wear this or do I want to wear this? Because this is aesthetic, but this is also aesthetic. So I'm just so excited to participate.
I have my dress fangs or my casual fangs.
Nice.
Cool.
I have a witch hat, so I'm low key thinking about bring my witch hat.
You're not gonna be alone. All right, bye everybody.
Wow.
I gotta run.
Bye. Have a great rest of your day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.